excited to come up on here and make my final video talking about the last episode of Life After Lockup. But before we talk about all that, I do have to talk about an update I just came across on Instagram. So Courtney is pregnant. She showed off her baby bump with her boyfriend and said, now till forever, it's all me, all of you, and I couldn't be more happy and excited. So congratulations to her. Hopefully she has settled down more since she was on the show. Now let's talk about the season finale. I just want to talk about Courtney and Will real quick. I feel like we didn't get a lot from this season finale outside of like learning that Brooke and JK broke up and Brooke moved, but Will and Courtney had their final sit down, and Will just wanted to know if Courtney ever cheated, and she did admit she cheated. Well, she didn't admit to cheating. She admitted to sleeping with someone the day that Will decided to tell her that they're no longer going to be together. She said she was so mad she just wanted to get some revenge, and he asked her how many different people it was, and she's like, I'm not going to tell you. And then she went back and claimed it was one. I kind of have a hard time it was just one, because if you're asking how many, I just be like, one, like I just told you, just that person. But she kind of hesitated for a moment. But she claims up and down she didn't sleep with Mark, even though Mark swears up and down that they did. Then Courtney tried to tell Will, well, we were married, and when you're married, you're supposed to work through anything till death do us part. And Will said, exactly. And you put zero effort in to sit there and be a wife. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Courtney did not do anything to work on the marriage either. You can't put that all on Will. When you're out here having sugar daddies, living like you're single, you just can't expect your partner to forgive everything just because you're married to them. And Will said, how are you going to sit here and say that you're trying to be a good wife when you would go days without talking to me? And Courtney said, well, I may have went hours without talking to you, and that's because I'm busy. And Will was like, well, look, I can make time for you, and I'm sitting here working full time, trying to build an app. I'm sitting here taking care of a dying parent. I was sitting here still pouring into our marriage. I had lots of things I was juggling. But at the end of the day, you make time for what you want to make time for. Like, I bet with Courtney's new man, she doesn't ignore him for days or hours. I mean, ignoring for hours, I mean, as adults, you know, people work, people have lives, they get busy. But if you're married to someone especially, you should definitely be, like, checking in on your partner multiple times a day. Like, if she really cared about Will, she would want to see how he's doing, especially if he's dealing with a dying parent, making sure that he's okay. But Courtney was just in it for herself, because at the end of the day, I don't think she was really into Will and how he looked. I think she was just into the fact that he is a man who knows how to build an app. He makes good money. And she just liked what he could do for her. And just like Will said, she kind of just looked at him like an ATM. Courtney admitted, look, when people get together, people wear masks, and you don't know who someone really is until you really spend time with them and get to know them. And then eventually you see their true colors. And she says she's seen Will's true colors. She could say the same thing for herself. I mean, Will could say the same thing about her. You know, he thought he found someone who was ready to settle down, who was ready to be wifey material, and she obviously is not that. I hope she has chilled out more with time, and maybe this new man has calmed her down more, because I did see her on Instagram, like, talking about how embarrassed and ashamed she is of what she or who she was on this season. And she's like, I can't even watch this season because it's so hard to watch. And she claims she's not that person anymore. So I hope she has grown since then, and I hope Will has grown since then and learned a valuable lesson, because this is just a cautionary tale of what can happen when you think you can find a wife on a pen pal site. Like, every now and then someone might get lucky and find someone who's ready to get out of prison and get their shit together and be a wife, but it seems like a lot of times that's not the case. And it's like, every single time we see a couple rush to get married the first day, it's like a curse. It seems like all of them are divorced now. I might be forgetting a few couples, but it seems like all the couples I can think of that got married day one, everything went to shit with them. From Christiana and John, Chaz and Branwen, Will and Courtney. And it's like, that's why you really just need to take your time to get to know someone, not just inside prison, but outside prison. And now Will is learning a really hard life lesson. But that's pretty much it, guys. And then I just wanted to touch on Latisha real quick. They really didn't give us anything worth talking about in this season finale. All I have to say is, thank God wetv did their wedding, because I really didn't want to have to drag out a whole nother season of them talking about a wedding and them having a wedding like Justine and Michael. I'm glad they just got this little wedding ceremony over with and out the way, but honestly, I want to be shocked if wetv ends up bringing them back, because I know Latisha has all these pending cases, even though she doesn't really like talking about them too much. And then when she does, she likes lying about them, like she's trying to act like, oh, I took this plea deal on this case, you know, a few episodes ago. But that plea deal, I don't know if she tried to take a plea deal and they didn't accept it, but it didn't end up happening, and she's still in the middle of fighting this case, and she goes to trial in January. I'm pretty sure it's a second-degree theft case, but I can't say with 100% certainty. But one of these cases, they're trying to take it to federal court, and that's gonna be no good for Latisha, because cases that go to federal court, 80 to 90% of the time, the feds end up winning. So the odds are not looking good for Latisha at all. I'm pretty sure it's with this case, but like I said, I can't say 100% for sure because I don't have the receipts in front of me. I remember seeing Colleen, one of the victims, post about it a while back, and I tried finding the post, but it was a few months ago, and I was having a hard time finding it. But that's pretty much it, guys. And I will give wetv credit that they actually detailed what exactly her charges were for. Like, they actually said, oh yes, she got a forgery and identity theft charge, because usually it seems like the show protects her. Like, it wasn't until a few episodes ago that we finally learned, like, oh, she had a second-degree theft charge from stealing for her tax client. But it just seemed like besides that, they weren't giving details about it. They're like, oh, she got a charge, but they didn't want to say exactly what it was for. It's like, okay, why are we protecting her? But I'm glad they finally said, okay, she got an identity theft and forgery charge. So anybody who's watching the show, if they had any more doubts that they need to do their taxes with her, that this is their confirmation not to do it. Like, if you're someone who doesn't get on Facebook and YouTube and see videos and articles like mine or CASHAPP who have talked about everything Latisha's done, at least some people have hopefully been able to see the show and see, okay, maybe she isn't to be trusted. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.